All right, welcome to another edition of International Soccer Break. I'm your host, Sahil. We are ready for the Asian Cup, and I, of course, have Rahi with me, but a very, very special guest, Taku, with us, who's a big fan of the Japanese national team, who, of course, I think has got to be one of the favorites, guys, for this tournament.
Yeah, real pleasure to have you on the show. We go way back to our days in London together. We actually play together now on a Japanese team as well. So we're well informed, excited for this tournament, Taku. This has got to be, it's a big moment for Japan. I mean, probably a real high point. They have to be favorites going to this tournament, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone's expecting Japan to win this tournament. They've definitely have won the most number of times, 4 times. The last time they won was 2011, but I think this year, they look better than ever, and I think everyone has Japan winning the tournament.
Taku, I think there was a lot of hype behind the team last time as well. And, the last Asian Cup around, but they failed to actually capture silverware in a long time. Where do you think it fell short last time around?
I think that's a great question. So last time around, Japan didn't have as strong of a squad for sure. This time they have most of the squads made up of players playing abroad in Europe and other countries, not in the J League. The J League players are obviously great, but when it comes to these type of international competitions, a lot of it has to do with the mental aspect of the game. And I think that's where Japan was always lacking. Like you'd always get your hopes high thinking that they were going to win the tournament. And then when it actually came to playing it, they just couldn't get around the mental aspect. And with the J League players just being used to playing against other foreign players was a big aspect of it.
I think that's an interesting point. Have you ever been this excited about the Japanese team? I mean, you're talking about players at the biggest clubs, and if the World Cup obviously very successful, but you can see that wasn't an accident because then you have these huge results after the World Cup, right? The Germany completely
Mhm.
throttling Germany, just so it's really sustained.
Yeah, they
Is
ended
this
the
the best
career of the
Japan has
German
been?
coach, basically,
Yeah,
forced Germany to switch coaches. But
Yeah, I mean, I think, compared to the World Cup when they last played Germany in the friendly, it was pretty much, if you compare the lineups, it's pretty much the same exact lineup. And this time, I think Japan just, all the players individually, I think they went up in skill and talent. Mitoma, he's always been a great player. And before the World Cup, he was already starting. But it wasn't until after the World Cup that he was playing on a consistent high level. Tomiyasu as well. He always plays, right back or left back for Arsenal, but for the Japanese national team, he plays center back, and he completely shut down the whole German team. Had a great sliding tackle against Sane. So overall, I think every player individually has just been playing at that level that's required to, win cups and win tournaments and win these big games that in the past we just never could win.
all right, so let's get into the squad a little bit here, and Taku and Rahi, of course, you too. Break it down. Let's go to the squad. Break down who are the players to watch in this particular squad. Rahi, you got
Taco, I
this?
got it. I got it. Don't worry. I'll tell you
All
who
right.
to watch on this roster. Let me just give me a second here to read out these characters. I can't read this, unfortunately. But Taku, tell us the
You're gonna need a
two
lot of
players to watch.
Duolingo to learn Japanese very quickly.
Yes. Give us the two
So
players to
for
watch.
sure.
Who you're excited about here.
So for midfielder and forwards, I would say Kaoru Mitoma from Brighton, number one. Definitely Japan's best winger. Provides the biggest threat down the left wing. Another one I would say is Endo Wataru, number 6. Right now for Liverpool, he's been holding down the starting position for the number 6 position. So he's definitely the captain of Japan, the heart of the team. Uh, Another one would be number 20, Takefusa Kubo at Real Sociedad. I mean, this season he's just been killing it down the right wing. I could see him playing either the right wing or center attacking mid, and he's definitely going to be your biggest playmaker.
He's someone
For
I'm
defense, sorry?
really excited about. Oh, he's 22, right? Kubo is young, and this is a chance.
Yeah, he's still young, 22. Yeah.
He's had a
So
great season, and I think he's done it for Japan at times, but this he could really put his mark on this tournament, right? This is his chance to really show he's had an incredible year so far.
top defenders, let's see. One of my favorites, Takehiro Tomiyasu from Arsenal. He's definitely probably going to play center back.
Where are
So
the weaknesses on this roster, Tuck? Where are you worried about the most? I mean, this is a really strong roster, players at big clubs at every level. But what are you worried
I
about?
would say part of my concern would be the goalkeeper, just because we haven't really had, set goalkeeper to start every game these past couple of years. Even the World Cup, I think Moriyasu was sort of testing out different goalkeepers to see who would fit. So most likely the person who would start is probably Zion Suzuki, number 23, who is actually originally from the US. So this will be a great opportunity for him to shine.
Interesting. So overall, though, it sounds like you're pretty happy with the squad, right, Taku?
Yeah, overall, I would say I'm happy. I mean, I think everyone expects Japan to win this one, and the level of the whole team in general, every position has. I don't think it's ever been this high. So I mean, beating Germany 4-1, all those games, scoring 5, 6 goals. This has to be the tournament that they should win without a doubt.
So before I ask you if they actually will, does any of these games scare you? I mean, obviously they're going to play Vietnam first. That's coming up,
Hmm.
and then you
Right.
have Indonesia and Iraq. I mean, is any of this an opportunity to slip up in your mind within the group?
I would say the only team that I feel like Japan might be concerned about is Iraq. Um, Another point I should mention is Vietnam's coach is actually uh, Philippe Torchier, who is a French coach and used to coach Japan back in the 2002 World Cup. So that might be an interesting matchup. But, based on FIFA rankings, Japan's way ahead of all the other teams. So there shouldn't be. But this is the Asia Cup, and you never know what's going to
Right. And
happen.
this is an Iraq team that, if you remember, won the Asia Cup in '07, I believe, the one before Japan won.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, Rahi, what's your take on this? Obviously, you're not.
I think this has
Yeah.
to be, they have to win this tournament. They go in as the far and away favorites. Maybe the Koreans are a very, very strong roster as well. But I think we've yet to see Japan dominate the Asian Federation the way they should. And considering
Hmm.
how they did in the World Cup, how they've done since, the mentality is at a different level. They should really dominate this tournament. And I think they will. The only question mark I have for you, Taku, is this manager, a little bit eccentric. He has his moments, has taken players, not taken players. If they don't win this tournament, is he still safe?
With the Japanese managers, I feel like they get more of a benefit of the doubt. I think they get more time. So he is contracted until I think 2026. But in my opinion, I think if Japan were to win these cups and tournaments, they really need a different kind of manager. Even with the World Cup, I mean, we look at the Costa Rica game. It's amazing Japan beat Germany and Spain, but the one game they should have won, they lost. And I think that all has to go down to the manager.
Straight up, will Japan win the Asian Cup? They're the favorites? Will they get it done? Rahi, first you.
Write it in pen, etch it in stone, wherever you want to put it, permanent marker. They're winning this tournament. They're the best team in Asia right now, and it's not that close, I don't think. So Japan to win the Asia Cup, absolutely.
Taku.
For sure, without a doubt. 100% they will win the tournament.
Okay.
Confidence. I like that.
It's written here. It is written here, but we're a few hours away from the start of the tournament, with Qatar, the host, kicking it off. It's going to be a fascinating, month or so of football, or soccer, as we call it here in the US. Taco, we hope to have you back and analyze the performance of the Japanese team in all their games, and
Yeah, or we might be analyzing your celebrations. You know what I mean? When they do win the tournament. Let's see. For the Blue
So in
Samurai.
Japan, they always, oh yeah, Samurai Blue, and then there's a chant in Japan where they say Nippon, Nippon meaning Japan, and then cha cha cha.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
So let's
There you go,
end there.
Nippon, cha cha cha.
Nippon cha cha cha.